For you, Takahashi-sensei. For you. Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to Team Forbidden's YouTube page. It is I, Seto-sama the Fanatic. For those of you who have, for some reason, been living under a rock or have not seen our tribute video that came out earlier this week at the time of filming, we unfortunately lost Kazuki Takahashi, the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! So, in his honor, on top of the tribute that I made there, if you want, go ahead and click that down in the description below. I might sound a little selfish saying this, but I think I might possibly be the one in the group his death has affected the hardest, because I own every single copy of the comic and I've read every single editorial thing that he put in front of the graphic novels. So, why Blue Eyes, you might be asking? Well, fun bit of trivia. For those who don't know, Blue Eyes White Dragon has 9 separate different artworks. And for those who are wondering, yes, Dark Magician literally beats it by only 1 card. And those are all recent. This includes artworks that we don't have over here outside of Japan yet. To contrast, Red Eyes, I believe, is the 3rd most. Red Eyes has 7, including an official exclusive tournament promo. Blue Eyes White Dragon didn't get a tournament promo alt art. Ultimate Dragon did, though. And while Dark Magician may have 10 full new artworks to its name, Blue Eyes has 3 of them by Kazuki Takahashi himself. And it was literally the main card in the first 2 chapters of the comic, chapters 9 and 10, the cards with teeth. This is literally the card with teeth. The entire story was around Grandpa's Blue Eyes and Kaiba trying to get it the first time. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile and show what the White Dragon God is capable of with a more sort of standard Blue Eyes deck. I'm seeing a lot of branded Blue Eyes deck profiles out there, as well as a lot of back row Blue Eyes deck profiles because, well, we'll get into that in a little bit. So first and foremost, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. In the first artwork that was in the anniversary pack. The second artwork that Takahashi did is the one in space that was a jump promo. And the third one, which unfortunately we don't have right now, is the card that I currently have as my profile picture on Facebook. It's literally got Seto Kaiba in front of Blue Eyes White Dragon summoning it. It's beautiful. Konami, lost art when? So to get into our other big dragons, we've got the 1 copy of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. This card is not as good as it used to be. It's still really good, don't get me wrong, but it is super bricky at 3 when you have to go through other stuff. Our other main melody target is, of course, the Pendulum Monster, Chaos Emperor Dragon, or Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon, excuse me, the retrain, because sometimes your stuff gets banished, your white stones, and you just need this to get them back, and it's good. And finally, we have 1 copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. I want to bump this card up to 2, but I can't bring myself to cut anything else in the deck for it. Jet Dragon is so good, and literally a majority of the Blue Eyes engines that I've seen are just 2 or 3 of this, 2 or 3 of this, and Whitestone of Legend. Ancients, excuse me. It's such a good card. Prevents all of your other cards from being destroyed and pops itself out whenever an opponent's card is destroyed, or whenever any card on the field is destroyed, excuse me. So that includes yours, so it's a defensive card as well as an offensive card. And it also just gets to spin anything back that dares to attack it while you have Blue Eyes in the graveyard. The Destruction Protection effect, if I didn't get into it in the last deck profile, or for those who don't remember, is a blanket effect on the whole field. Does not require Blue Eyes to be in the graveyard. However, the other 2 effects, the ones that summon it, and the ones that spin an opponent's monster back, do. So they require specifically Blue Eyes in the graveyard. Speaking of requiring Blue Eyes in the graveyard specifically to activate its effects, we have Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon. No, I'm still not over the Deep of Blue Eyes name change. I would run Deep Eyes White Dragon in here if I could, but damn it, it's just not practical. It's just not practical at all. I just wish it were. It needed to be, it personally just needed to be a Blue Eyes card just like this. This is basically everything Deep Eyes should have probably been, but, well, we've basically all seen Dark Side Dimensions. We know what Deep Eyes does. Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon searches Poly. Yes, we actually run actual polymerization in this deck for that. It's arguably better in the Chaos Max build, but it's still nice for the Fusion build because the Fusion build is arguably better. Next up, we have 3 copies of the Dictator of D. Why they still feel like they have to censor the D in Dragons in 2022, 2021, I have absolutely no clue. Just say Dictator of Dragons. Call it Lord of Dragons. Call it the King of Dragons. I don't know why you aren't. You censored the B in Red Eyes Black Dragon, I can somewhat understand, but this still literally makes no sense. In the tuners, we have 2 Whitestone of Ancients, 2 Whitestone of Legend, because searching Blue Eyes is friggin' crucial in a Fusion build. Not to mention, this thing can be pitched off of Dictator. This can't. And speaking of tuners, we've also got 2 Sage with Eyes of Blue. Only 2. And I was originally running 3 at one point, but after discussing with Manny the Dragon Tamer, he convinced me, and I agreed with him, that because Konami was, for some reason, stupid enough to bring this card back, that the 3rd stage should be replaced with this. Hello, 2-card Halki Fibrix. Konami, what were you thinking? I don't care that you got rid of Auroradon. It's so weird how TCG and OCG just completely differ. But whatever. We'll see what happens on the next list, which I believe should be coming out relatively soon. We also have, for hand traps, getting into those, 1 copy of Effect Veiler. Only 1 copy because you can literally search it with Sage. It's a light level 1 tuner. 2 Ash and 2 Bell. That basically rounds up our monster lineup. 22 monsters. Yeah, I should mention this is a 42 card deck. Into our 20 spells and traps. First off, we're going 3 Lightning Storm. For those who don't know how I like to play Blue Eyes, I personally think that Blue Eyes is going second dot deck. Lightning Storm is literally going second dot card. It's like, okay, so you have a whole bunch of back row? Oh, okay, let's just nuke them all. Oh, you were foolish enough to put all your monsters in attack position or set up a whole board for the link monsters? Oh, what's that? They can be destroyed? Oh, get rid of them all. Do you have a negate to get rid of it? Oh, okay, that's fine. Now I can just combo off because I got rid of your 1 negate. If they have more than 1, well, I guess we're screwed. And Melody of Awakening Dragon, 3 copies, obviously. It's Lord of D playing a Blue Eyes guitar from the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga. Good stuff. Good stuff. So many different combos and ways that you can get stuff into your hand with this card. 3 trade-in, because we run a lot of 1-ofs, and there's a lot of the level 8s that we're actually okay with going into our graveyard. The only exception being the Emperor, because there's not really a good way of bringing him back after he goes to the graveyard. Then to round off the spells, we've got 1 Return of the Dragon Lords. It's still a really good card, but it's not as good as it used to be in my opinion. 1 Monster Reborn. I saw a drawing of somebody who drew Yugi with a Tem trying to revive Kazuki Takahashi with this. It's really sad. But, and yeah, I'm still not over it. And as I said, the 1 polymerization. We have then 2 copies of the card that I waited decades for. And this card is still really, really good. This thing is, even the branded versions play this card, because this card is really stupid good. Blue Eyes is either in your hand, or in your graveyard, or on your field. This does everything that literally Solid Dragon doesn't do. I should mention, for those who are wondering why the hell I'm not running Dragon Spirit of White, it's still good, but I'd argue it's not as good. I wanted to find room for Kaiba-Man in here. Yeah, I'm not joking. Frickin' Kaiba-Man. I actually have a real old and beat up copy from a friend of mine that I really wanted to use in this profile, but I just couldn't find the room for it. But anyways, to counter hand traps, we have one copy of Begone Demon Child, also known as Called by the Grave. Konami, please put this card back to more than one. It's never gonna happen. I know. Funny how we have one of this and OCG has only one of this card. Meanwhile, this card never really took off over here. Fun fact, Noblemen of Crossout and Noblemen of Extermination are actually in both the first and second Kaiba structure decks in the OCG. So Crossout Designator just seems super fitting. And that's 40. These are the 42 because Imperm's still really, it's a literal freaking hand trap. This card is never not going to be good unless everything is unaffected by traps. Like this boy. Or literally just can't be targeted. Dragoon Band win. Sorry, I had to throw that out there. Lost the happy for a second, but the happy's back. Into the fusion deck. Excuse me, extra deck. That shows you how old I am. 2 copies of Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. As I'm pretty sure I stated in the fusion, the first fusion build that came out when this card came out, this card is nuts. This card is absolutely bonkers. 34 can attack every single opponent's monster once. Oh, and he's unaffected by traps. Oh, and when he attacks, you just literally just get to set traps back. Oh, I played the Infinite Imperm from the hand. Let me set it on my field so I can do it again. And then to round off the fusion monsters, we have 1 Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. Literally this guy, I wanted to find room for Neo, but I just couldn't because I just wanted to do so much with this deck. But Neo is another one that arguably should be in here. I mean, a 4,500 attack monster that can attack 3 freaking times is no freaking joke. And then I know a lot of people aren't playing this card, but I think there are certain situations that can come up. If Dragoon gets banned, oh hell no, this card is coming out. Because literally the whole point of this card is just attacking Dragoon and then just banish it. And then sometimes you just need to attack multiple monsters and you don't have a fusion card. This thing can contact fuse with 2 Blue Eyes. So there's that. Into the Synchro Monsters, we have 1 copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I feel like you need this card just in case you ever go up against a Pendulum player or a Kaiju player. Because if they don't have Kaijus in the hand, they can't play Slumber because of this. And it's a Pendulum decks? Yeah, have fun Pendulum summoning only 1 monster. And for the interruption, we've got the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, the whitewashed version of Andrew's baby. Hey. You said you hate this card.
I do.
Hey. It stays here. She's a good girl.
Fine, you can have it.
I plan to. Speaking of good girls, good God, what the hell were they thinking printing this card? It's Baron de Fleur. I'm not going to explain Baron de Fleur. You make her because you can summon this guy off a Hulk. It's stupid. And then next we have the obligatory 97 package, which is Hope Harbinger, 97, 92, just in case you're actually forced to go first. And the OTK boy himself. You could, if you want, try and make room for Neo Ultimate, probably by taking out this package for maybe number 90 and the Galaxy Eyes, the 4K one that just goes on top of any Galaxy Eyes monster to have a 4K beat stick.
Armor?
Yeah, the Photon Armor Dragon. You could also potentially take out this card, but god damn it, this card is just so fucking good. I just love this card so much. He's just so good, and you can actually easily make him in this deck. Literally all you need is Dictator, a card that says Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text, or Blue Eyes itself, and any normal summon, and voila, you have a Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. It's super easy to make in this deck. But if most Link monsters that people are running are basically these two right here. It's Hulk. I don't have to explain Hulk. Maybe it'll be banned over here. It's banned in the OCG right now. Maybe not. We'll find out. And one Link Karibo, because in my opinion, that's the best Link one. We have a side deck for this as well, which is going to be changing probably when the meta shifts end of this month. Jesus Christ, why do card games feel like they're coming out with new sets every single month now? 2 Artifact Lancias, 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and 2 DD Crow. These things are nuts. These, I feel like, are some of the best hand traps in the game. This is partially planning for when Splight, or whatever the heck they're called over here, come out over here, because Splight are basically Nibiru proof. And a lot of decks, if they're running the Adventure Token package, they're basically Nibiru proof. So in my opinion, Nibiru it's just not worth it anymore. 1 copy of, good God, why the hell did this card ever come back? I don't get it, but I had a secret rare copy lying around, so screw it, might as well use it. 1 copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. The 3rd copy of Infinite Impermanence. This could arguably be anything else, but some matchups, Imperm is just really friggin' necessary. Blackluster Soldier! Nah. Posture Blader! But, yeah, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that you need the 3rd one. And Andrew had originally mentioned Red Reboot being in here, which, yeah, Red Reboot is good, but you literally have this boy who's literally immune to every trap card known to man. So Red Reboot seemed kind of not necessary. Because if you just get a Tyrant Dragon out against any trap deck, you basically just win. Speaking of the alternative to trap decks, this card is good and it keeps getting better. And 3 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Because it's Dimensional Barrier, it shuts down a lot more stuff than Skill Drain. Because I know that's something that a lot of the comment section is going to ask, where's Skill Drain? I could not find the room, and this is just overall better because it shuts my opponent down for a turn. So, guys, that's the update for the Blue Eyes Fusion deck profile. If you would like to see some gameplay with this, please comment down below, let us know. We'll see if Andrew and I could get some replays up on the channel that show how this deck functions. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell down below for notifications. Continue celebrating Yu-Gi-Oh! However you see fit, in a kind, respectful way. Rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi. We miss you.